If we have not met before, my name's Catherine Lukedu, and I love AI. I mean, I absolutely love it. I am on it. I am in it. Um, and basically, for the last 2 years, the moment that ChatGPT came out, I was on it. So I did write a book on AI. I'm not some person that just showed up here. I do have a lot of knowledge about it. I wrote a book which is on Amazon now, called AI Secrets for Unstoppable Business Success and Life Hacks, because I realized there was this gap in most people's knowledge of, well, what do I do with this thing? I see it's here. I see it's amazing, but I don't really know how to use it. So that's where we're going. The last webinar we did was for mortgage and for real estate, and it was generally how you can use AI in that industry. Today, though, I really want you to create your own AI assistant. And the reason is because it's going to make your life so much easier and get you back your time. So, what I would love, and it would be so helpful for me today to know this, what is one thing that you would love to solve today in your business? What would you like to make move faster in your business today? If you just write one word in there, what is that? Is it you want to save time? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook posting? Is it all content? You're just so sick of it. I know I've gotten to the point where it becomes overwhelming after a while. So what's that one thing that you're trying to do now in your business that this could and will help you? What have we got going, Rick?
So we got lead generation, we got social media, we got video editing, content creation, saving time on posting on social media. Some good stuff there.
Awesome. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. This is not theory-based. We are going to be practical. Together, we are actually going to create a GPT that is custom. Obviously, I'm not in a classroom in front of you. You all had your laptops open, but I do have a set of instructions for you. So when we're done, I will email them to everyone who's attended today so that all you've got to do is look at the instructions and you can go ahead and create your own once you've seen how I walk through this with you. The way I want to start today is I want to show you 3 examples of custom GPTs that I've created and how they are slightly different than if you were to just use ChatGPT. All right, so let's go. I'm going to share my page. I've got, I will expand just the one for now. All right, so what we have here is your typical ChatGPT screen, right? This is what, if you log in, this is what everyone is going to see. Now, here is a little disclaimer. If you want to create your own ChatGPT that is custom for you, you do need to have the paid version of ChatGPT, which is $20 a month. It is the best $20 you will ever spend in your business because there's no assistant out there that you will ever hire for $20 a month. Won't happen. So here's what I want to do. I would love it if someone, because I would really appreciate if this were interactive and I'm actually giving you information that is helpful to you today. So can you go in the chat and tell me what is something, as you can see here, what can I help you with? So write in a question that we would just want help with on a normal chat GPT. And then I'm going to open up my custom GPT. And I want you to see what happens when you program a GPT to answer in a different way for you. So what can I help you with today?
So somebody drop a question in the chat box, please. What can we ask it?
And I just want to show you, we're going to just do kind of comparables now. That's what we're going to do.
What reel should I create relevant to the real estate industry? Relevant to the real estate industry today.
Reel can I create relevant to the real estate industry today? All right, so we wait for our answer. Now, don't forget, we have given no context to this assistant of ours. If this were a real human being, you have literally not told this person what kind of real. Do you want it funny? Do you want it serious? Is it educational? We haven't given any context. So when you don't give context, the answer will be very simplified. And here they go. Are you still doing this the hard way in real estate? And then we have a frustrated real estate agent juggling phone calls, paper contracts, blah, blah, blah. And it goes on. Scene 2, scene 3, and a call to action. So this is the first thing that has come out of this ChatGPT. I'm going to pull up a GPT that I created yesterday called Coach Tiramisu. And Coach Tiramisu gives you bold advice with a sweet flair. My reasoning for showing this to you is because I want to show you what happens when you actually put in some personality into the GPT you created. So we're going to go in and ask the same question. What kind of reel can I create in real estate that is relevant today? All right, exact same question, but I have given this GPT a personality. Are you ready? I'm just going to choose one of them. Oh, it's at the end. Okay, so you can see now, this is what the paid ChatGPT will do for you. It will give you two options. Response 1, as you can see, very easy to follow. Response 2, very detailed. I'm just going to choose 1 because it's so much easier to follow. And we go back up to the top. So I programmed this GPT to be an Italian English speaking coach. So, tesoro mio, real estate reels are like the perfect slice of tiramisu. They've got to look irresistible, feel dynamic, and leave people wanting more. Let's whip up some ideas relevant to today's market. Before and after property transformation. Show a space before and after. Now, do you see the immediate difference between what I went into in ChatGPT, which I can go back to now? This was the original. It is bland, it is boring, and it doesn't give you much to go on. The moment we go in and we start playing around with the personality and we add more prompts, all of a sudden, it actually starts giving us more and more details. So if I look through here and I'm looking through and I'm thinking, you know what? 3 would be a pretty awesome reel to do. Myth busting real estate tips. Example, you don't need 20% down to buy your dream home. So I go back into my customized GPT and I tell it, I would like you to expand on the ideas for number 3. That's it. I am now having a conversation because I want to treat my GPT like a human being. So we go in. Don't forget, my GPT still has an Italian flair to it. Fantastico. Myth busting in real estate is like peeling back the layers of a tiramisu. Each bite reveals a delightful surprise. Let's take number 3, give it flair and substance it deserves. Here is how we expand it. And then we go down. So it gives you what you need, the real idea, or you can talk about the perfect timing, or a DIY myth, or a listing. You literally, let's see how many it's given us. It's still going. We now have We're on day 9 now, right? So these are all reels that you could do every day that it literally took 2 minutes to produce for us. We now have 10 ideas. This could keep going, and I ask it to expand just on that one. Give me more, give me more. So what I want you to understand when you're doing a custom GPT is you get to decide who you want it to be for you. Do you want it to have a special personality that will reflect who you are? Or do you want to give it a life of its own because maybe you feel you're a little boring? So you want to liven up your posts. Maybe you are all that and you want to tone down your posts because you want to attract a luxury audience. So maybe your posts need to be a little bit more professional, polished. Maybe you're looking to attract millennials, Gen Z, different groups that you are not a part of, but yet you really need to appeal to them. That's the role that you're going to give your GPT. So this is really important for you to understand that you are like the architect of what you want to create right now. I'm going to share another GPT, which is a little bit more on the serious side, but not really. So let's go back in. And I created another GPT called Healthy Living Kitchen Recipes. So if anyone on this call has any health related illness, or maybe it's just something that you're living with, I will use my husband as an example. So my husband has type 2 diabetes. I struggle, I don't really, but let's say I struggle to create recipes for someone with type 2 diabetes. I created this custom GPT to help me with recipes. So all I have to do is go in, give a little bit of context because I've already programmed it. So this is what you can do. If you need a health coach in your life, you can create a health coach GPT. If you need basically a therapy coaching session, you can create that person for you. So I will go in here and I'll say, my husband is type 2 diabetic. We won't worry about the spelling, it'll fix it. I need some healthy dinner recipes that are easy, simple, and affordable. So instead of me having to go through all of the internet, all of the cookbooks that I own, in one click, it will give me exactly the type of recipes for someone that is balanced nutrition, low glycemic, and affordable. And it also always tells me why. Why is this recipe good? High in protein, low in carbs, packed with fiber. It's beautiful. You no longer have to think about it. It's ready for you. This can go on. So we now have, let's see, we're on day 4. We are on day 5. So 5 days of recipes for a healthy GPT. So when you came here today, you had a need for a type of GPT that you need to create. The beauty of creating them is that the instructions are the same. You just have to decide what it is that you want to create. So I'd like for us to create one together today so that you can see how easy it is. And then I'm going to leave the last 15 minutes with the screens open for you to ask any questions you want. So you've come here today to create a GPT that will help you create content. So I have everything ready for you. We are going to open 2 pages right now. Let me move this aside. And step 1, okay? As you can see here on my right, We have simple step-by-step instructions to create a GPT. Stay long enough and I will be emailing this to you, so you don't have to take notes or anything. We are going to go to the left-hand screen. Rick, can we see both screens here?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So where it says explore GPTs, you're going to click on that. And it brings you to a screen where you can actually explore other GPTs that people have created. But we want to go and create our own today. So on the top right, where it says create, we're going to click that. We have two choices here. We have the create button where you could actually go in, just talk to ChatGPT and tell it what you want it to create. But because I know the type of instructions that will get me what I'm looking for, we're just going to go straight in and configure a GPT today. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look at both of these screens on the left, the configure and the preview, because as I type, there will be things that will appear on preview. So we're going to name our GPT. So I've come up with 3 example names here on the right. We can call it Content Creator Assistant, my Social Media Helper, my Blog and Email Pro. Let's call this my Content Pro. Okay. We know that it's going to be your name. Where the plus sign is, you can add a little picture. Our short description. Now, you see here right in the middle of the screen, it's already named it for us now. My Content Pro. We now need a description that describes what this is going to do for us. So this is an AI assistant to help write social media posts, emails, and blogs with ease. Here's a little tip for you. I'm just going to stop this for a moment. Actually, I won't. Here's a little tip for you. You could create an entire workforce of GPTs for your business and never have to hire an admin again. You could hire a financial analyst, put in all your numbers, and this GPT would be your financial analyst for your company. You could create the GPT for content. You could create one for the customer journey. You could create one for feedback, customer feedback, if you sold a product, for example. So just know that you could create a workforce of customized GPTs for your business. So this is today my Content Pro. It shows you here on the right screen an AI assistant to help. So you know, every content creator that you create, it's going to have a name there for you. Let's keep going. Instructions. This is what is key to creating your GPT. The better instructions you give, the better GPT will perform. I want you to think of a human being. If the two of us are working in an office together, and I say to you, go create me a social media post. Is there information missing? Yeah. What do you want me to create? Do you want me to talk about mortgage? Do you want to talk about real estate? Do you want me to talk about the new interest rate reduction today? Like so many questions. So if I give a vague task, what you give me back is going to be as vague. As they say, garbage in, garbage out. This is the same thing. So if I want my GPT to perform well, I've got to give it good instructions. So we are now here. We want to define the GPT's role. What role do we want it to play? What I want for this one is I'm telling it. Now, I would like you to note this down. If you want a GPT to be someone, a financial analyst, a content creator, a social media world-class copywriter. You need to tell it who it is. So today we are telling it that you are a content writing assistant. Your role is to help brainstorm, draft, and polish social media posts, blogs, and emails. If this were a financial analyst I was creating, I would say you are a world-class financial analyst. I want you to analyze everything that I give you every day, my spreadsheets and so on, and provide me, and then you would give it whatever. So today we're just talking about a content writing assistant. We're going to leave that for a moment. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. Copy, paste, and I'm going to throw it over here on this side because we're going to stack the instructions now, right? We don't want one, we want a whole bunch of them. So we go to the next part. We need to provide instructions for the tone. Do you want it to be angry? Do you want it to be humorous? Do you want it to be professional? Do you want it to be relatable to your audience? Do you want it to be conversational? So the instructions I'm going to give are to adjust your tone to match the platform and the audience, right? This is really important today. When we're doing a post on LinkedIn, there is a certain tone of professionalism that we need to have there. When we're posting on Instagram or TikTok, again, a different tone. So here's what I'm telling it to do for me today. I want you to adjust your tone to match the platform. I want you to be friendly and casual for social media. And I want you to be professional and clear for LinkedIn or emails. Then you don't have to do this, but remember that if I were to hire someone as my admin and they had never been on social media before, please write in the comments what you know about how we should be posting on social media platforms. What have you learned yourself about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn? Could you tell me some of the differences that you've noticed? If you could go in the chat and do that for me. Some of the differences that you've noticed between the different platforms.
Differences, okay, longer versus shorter posts.
Perfect.
Hashtags are no longer needed on Instagram. What else do we got here? I would say that, well, I'll type in the thing.
Yeah, please, Rick. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say more engagement. I feel there's more engagement on Instagram.
Okay, so we're not worried about where there's more engagement because different people will have built an audience in different places, but the GPT needs instruction on how to behave in different circumstances. Like if you were to bring your child, if you have a child, right? You bring your child to a play center, they're going to go wild, they're going to run around. But if you take your same child and bring them to church, the behavior must change from the play area to church. Your GPT is exactly the same. It needs to know how to behave on the different platforms. So we go down here and we tell it Instagram, short captions with a hook and a call to action. Example, write a fun Instagram caption for, and I give examples so it understands what I mean. Emails, personalized subject lines, clear messages, blogs, engaging introductions, clear outlines. Finally, we want to encourage the GPT to actually ask us questions because we are not social media specialists. We want our GPT to be the specialist. So we want it to ask us questions each time we come on the platform. So we're going to tell it to ask basic details if needed. Who is the content for? What is the goal of this content? And do you want it to sound casual or professional? These are some of the prompts that will help me figure out who I'm writing for. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to start from here. Adjust your tone. I'm going to copy and I'm going to throw it over here in my instructions on the left. And how do I want the GPT to start conversations with me? I have that up here. We can either begin, hello, let's work together to create amazing content, kind of boring. Hi there, what type of content are we creating today? Let's copy that, but don't forget, we can add personality. So although I'm going to copy and paste this, I am going to go back. And I feel like I want it to be a little more friendly with me. So let's just do, hey, my friend, what type of content are we creating today? They are my team member. Let's speak in we. If this were like a level 2 and we were going to like, content creation 202, we would go in and we could upload files as examples of the way that we write. But because I don't want to get ahead of some of you, if you don't have a lot of knowledge in this, this is good for today. This is all we need right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create. Sorry, where are we here? We are done. It automatically saves it for us. So we can actually come over here now to my Content Pro, and we are going to try it with our very first prompt. Now, because most of you, there's so many of you, I believe, in the mortgage industry on here today, I need an Instagram post. What do we want to make a post on today? Do you know, or do you need ideas? What's best for you? Go in the chat and let me know, and then I'll just start making the posts like that. So do you know what you want to create, or do you need some ideas?
Someone said down payment. I
What
know
about-
what I want to create. I don't know what that means. Need
Okay.
ideas, new conforming limits.
So I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to tell my GPT, and don't forget, if you have the paid version for $20 a month, it will remember the information that you put in. So you do not have to keep telling it over and over, your own GPT, who you are. You could just throw that in so it knows who you are. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, I'm a mortgage professional. I'm stuck on ideas of what to post on Instagram this week. Do we know who we want to talk to this week? The type of person. Are we talking to the clients? Are we talking to realtors this week? Who do we want to talk to this week?
Realtor.
Okay.
Place in the chat.
I'm stuck on ideas of what to post on Instagram. My audience is realtors. And here's a little tip from someone who has been working through this for 2 years. Talk to it like a human being. My audience is realtors. Can you help me, please? Please and thank you. This is how we train AI not to destroy the world, is we train it to be a nice, we're not going to call it person, but a nice being. So I say please and thank you. And I'll show you some of the other little tricks that I do. So I'm a mortgage professional. I'm stuck on ideas of what to post. If you were a real estate agent, you'd say the same thing. I'm a real estate agent. I'm stuck on what to post for, and then give your audience. Let's see how we did in programming. So don't forget, I didn't ask it to create it for me yet. I'm just brainstorming on content ideas because that's what I need first. So, quick mortgage tips for realtors. 3 ways you can help your buyers get pre-approved faster. Market insights, a realtor spotlight, behind the scenes, a success story. So, you know what? I go back, I look through this, and I say, I think I'm good with number 1. I am choosing 1. Please create this post for me. But because I'm a woman, I like options in my life. So, but create me 3 different options to choose from. How did we do in our programming? Let's see. We did really well in our programming. We have our hook with emojis, 3 simple tips with a call to action with our hashtags. Number 2, a different tone, playful and engaging. Number 3, professional and encouraging. So, which one should we choose? And I'm going to show you now how from this one post, we're going to get our GPT to create the post for every platform we're on now. So do we want option 1, friendly and direct? Do we want option 2? You can just put a number in the post or in the chat. Or option 3, professional and encouraging?
Option 2.
Let's go for it. I like option 2. What I what I need now is for you to create option 2 and adapt it for each social media platform in the same tone, and we're not going to say style, in the same tone. That's it. Because we've already programmed it, we don't have to add a lot of information. Let's go. Here is option 2, adapted for different social media platforms in a playful and engaging tone. So we have our Instagram post. We have our Facebook post. How much time did you just save creating posts for every platform for your entire day? Probably about an hour to 2 hours. If you had to figure out, don't forget, the mistake that we are making today is we are literally taking the post that we make for Instagram and we're putting it on Facebook and we're putting it on LinkedIn, and it's wrong because LinkedIn people, guess what? They do not want to see all of these emojis. They don't want to see the language there. They're feeling professional when they go on LinkedIn. So what we want to do is we want to respect the platform that we're on. So when we go to LinkedIn, if you feel, and I do this a lot, personally, when I'm on LinkedIn, I prefer that my post be a little bit more educational and I like it to be a little more expanded. So all I've got to do now is go into my GPT, and don't forget, it is a human being to me. It's my friend. So I say, great job. However, I like to expand my posts on LinkedIn to provide. I already know what I like. So I like more value. I like more insights and perhaps some detailed strategies. Let's see how it changes this LinkedIn post and gives me more of what I want. There we go. Look at that. All right. We just created an article for LinkedIn based on that one simple Instagram post. This is my point. So here's what I could do now. Because I've already programmed it to also create a blog for me or a newsletter, I could literally take that simple idea of our Instagram post and say, I really, we keep letting people in. I really like this. Again, great job. Let it know that it's pleasing you because it will keep doing the same thing. If you don't let it know, it starts going in all kinds of directions for you. What I need now is to turn this last LinkedIn post into a blog post for my website. Okay, let's look at this for a minute. In a matter of 1 hour, you have created, and we're not even at an hour, we're literally been doing this for 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, we have created one idea across every social media platform. We have made even a LinkedIn article, and we are now creating a blog post for our website in 20 minutes. This, you just got all that time back to just go find new business. So what I need is to turn this last LinkedIn post into a blog post for my website. However, when we're dealing with blog posts, as many of you may or may not know, they need to have some SEO capabilities so that Google will find it. However, I need it to be SEO optimized. Can you help? I'm just clarifying because I wanted to keep answering me. Here is your LinkedIn post transformed into an SEO optimized blog post. I've included, now you see where the SEO comes in. I've included relevant keywords like pre-approval process, mortgage tips for realtors, and helping buyers get pre-approved to boost your visibility. It understood the instructions. So here is now that little Instagram post, which turned into a larger LinkedIn, which is now a complete blog for your website. Each of these, and then it gives you all the keywords. So when you actually upload a blog post, you need to mention what the keywords are. They're telling you what they are. Let's pause here because we've got about 15 minutes left. How are we doing? Are we overwhelmed or are you good? Have we been following? Like, has this been easy enough to follow? And you know what? I would love to hear if you've got any questions. I really, my goal is I want people to grasp this because it really is so much easier than we think it is. And the amount of time that you will get back in your life is unbelievable. So, questions. Does anyone have any questions off of what we've done so far? or any comments, Rick, in the chat box.
This is great. Wow, this is fantastic. Thank you. Video of will there be available? Will there be a video available to review? Can you program it automatically look for subject on a specific subject?
Yep. So the beauty of your GPT is you can tell it what to do. You can tell it who to be. You can tell it how you want it to talk to you. What I would do is I would go back, and I'm just going to pull up the GPT because we don't need instructions right now. But what you can do is you can keep working on your instructions. If you find, like, let me show you over here at the very bottom. I don't know if you can see this bottom part here. There we go. Create a new action. So I can add actions. I actually don't want to do that. Where are we? Where are we? Oh, tell me we didn't save it. Looks like we didn't save it. Yeah, we didn't save it. Okay. So it's important to save it. I shouldn't have left my screen and come back, but here's what I'll show you. I could go into any of my GPT. So let me show you Coach Tiramisu, who has a very big, bold Italian personality. I just got to move you all over here. I can edit. Do you see here on the left my description, right? I'm telling you that it is sweet, bold, and irresistibly sassy because I want you to know that when you reach here. But do you see my personality? I gave it style because I wanted it to have style. So I'm telling my GPT, you are lively, very funny, witty, dramatic, with the confidence of a master chef and the humor of a best friend. If you don't need any of that, don't add it in. But it's fun. Why work with boring when you could work with fun? Your energy is layered like a tiramisu, sweet encouragement on top, but bold, tough love underneath. So we then go and I tell it, your motivational goals are encourage, confidence, fearlessness, so on. And I just give it all these instructions. Look at this. I tell it what I want it to be for me. Now I'm going to go back to another one I created, which doesn't have much personality, which is a mindset mentor. When I go into this one, I have to do it from the top. I am going to edit. Here, I didn't even give bullet points. I just gave like this one long paragraph of who I want it to be. I even gave conversation starters if I wanted someone else to use this. So this is something that I also want you to think about. When you are creating your GPT, you can share it. If you have an assistant, you want that assistant to write in the way that you want it to be done. Your assistant just goes to your GPT and uses it to create your content for you if you don't even want to have anything to do with content creation. But whatever it is that you want this GPT to do for you, all you have to do is talk to it, write those instructions, telling it what you want it to do. So we're basically at the end here. Would it be helpful if I emailed you all that instruction so that you could follow that? Good, great. Rick, are there any last comments or
Yes, somebody
anyone?
asked which chat GPT are you using? We're using the chat GPT paid pro account that's $20 a month. So that answers the next question. Do you have to buy the pro account? You don't have to, but to train it, yes, you need to.
So yes, if you do not have a need, to create your own custom GPT, you will continue using normal ChatGPT. However, the free version of ChatGPT will not remember you. It will not remember what you told it. It will not remember if it created previous prompts for you. If you wanted to remember you and then you never have to tell it again, I'm a mortgage agent, I'm a real estate broker, whatever it is, buy the $20 because you can also create your own custom GPT, which you cannot if you're using the free version. The free is just for people who want to use it lightly. If you want to use it properly for business, pay the $20. And then you can actually have other people use it as well.
Question.
Yes.
You asked it after giving the instructions on the right side to create a blog post.
Mm-hmm.
Why not say in the instructions, when I ask for a blog post, please create a blog post with SEO, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I wanted to keep it as simple as possible for you today, but if we were going to go dive deeper, I would actually go back into those instructions and I would make them much clearer. When you create a blog post, I want it SEO optimized. When you create a LinkedIn post, I want it to have 3 paragraphs, for example. So I would go in and customize even more. Today is like the light, easy version. But if you really want to use this and you want to use it well, every time you use it and you realize that it's not doing exactly what you want, go back to those instructions, add an extra line of what you've noticed is missing, because that's how you get it really, really good. One last thing. If you do want to take this to the next level and you want it to sound like you because you believe that you have really great, a great voice and a great style, like when I do my writing, I don't want it to sound like an AI. I want it to sound like Catherine. So even if Catherine was on holiday, it's okay. Nobody would ever know. All I do is I go into a Google Doc and I upload 3 emails. I upload a bunch of social media posts that I've created. I also post some LinkedIn examples. I put all of it on one Google Doc. I go back over to the GPT, which I'll show you right over here. I'm going to go back actually. Here at the bottom where it says knowledge, upload file, just upload your file. And it now knows your tone and style. So it never gets confused. It's never going to talk in its own style. I can even go into my instructions, and you might want to make a little note of this. If there are words that you cannot stand that all the AIs use, like some people don't like trailblazer and game changer. Like there's all these words that are all like you just read the post and you're like, oh my God, that was AI written and nobody even bothered to edit it. If there are those words that you've noticed, I do have a list. If you want that list, just message me afterward. You just throw that list in the instructions and say, I don't ever want to see these words in the posts. And then it will also avoid those words. So you're programming, but you're not programming. If this were a human being and they were your assistant in charge of your content, you would be giving them the same instructions. I want you to pretend that this GPT is your human assistant and give it the same instruction you would have given a human being. And that's how it will really perform well for you.
Another question, if I may.
Yeah.
If I make my own chat GPT and I share it with somebody else, is their versions stagnant or stale in the sense that it doesn't update if I update mine, or is it always updated for mine because mine was the original?
So what is sitting, I'll go back because I want you to see this. I'm just going to stop that. There we go. You see how these 3 are sitting here now? They don't move because I've used them. Anyone who uses them, they're there and they're live all the time. So if you make an update and this just sits on my platform, I automatically, those updates are already done when I go to use it. So when I go to, I have also made these, like you could actually go into your ChatGPT now and search them and you would find, for example, Coach Tiramisu, you would see it. go to Explore GPTs, type in coach. You see, right there. So whatever GPT, if you want it to be available for anyone to see, you get that option when you go into, let me see here, edit. And you see here where it says share. The drop down is only me, anyone with the link, or into the GPT store, which is for anyone to see. If you just want to share your GPT with your assistant or someone like a partner that you've got, you just put anyone with the link and you share that link, and they will always be able to use it. They will never be locked out of it unless they just don't pay $20 a month. But it doesn't go anywhere. Unless you, the author, deletes it, it's going to be sitting there.
Okay. And always active with the last information that I put in.
Always, like to the second.
And can they use it on a free version?
No.
No?
That's interesting. I've literally, like, I only had the free version for 2 weeks. I've had the paid version forever. If any of you have the free version right now on your phone, you could go and search if Coach Tiramisu is there on the free version. I don't know if it is or not.
My thought process was I manage about 280 properties for investors. And if I can create a chat GPT that answers frequently asked questions automatically and share it with them. But that's why I'm trying to figure out if a free version would be able to use that.
So if someone, yep, someone just wrote, Tanisha just wrote, yes, you can use it on the free version.
Okay.
There you go. So you have now created your AI assistant, and you can use it as a chat bot. Like Mark just said, if you have a whole slew of clients that you just want to answer questions, use it for that. Like, it is unlimited what you can do with an AI assistant now. There are huge use cases, but today was AI Assistant 101. So if you have found this helpful today, please put in the comment, yes, it's been helpful. If there's an interest that you would want to know what else you can do, I would consider doing a workshop, which would probably go longer and give you more details. So that's it for me. If you want to follow along what I do, I would say follow me on LinkedIn under my name, Catherine Lukedu. And on all the other platforms, I am Catherine Lukedu Coaching. On Instagram, my website is catherinelukeducoaching.com. I have lots of stuff on there as well that you, I believe, would find very helpful. And if any of you need private coaching, I do that as well. So any last questions, Rick, from anyone here?
No, everyone said thank you very much. Very helpful. Thank you. So everyone, thanks for coming on, and be on the lookout for the next one.
Thank you, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.